Good morning, my church family. Hope you are doing well today. Always good being with you. Today, our passage is going to come out of the book of 2 Timothy, and our biblical theme that's going to guide us today is going to be this idea of sin and separation. We're talking about something today that isn't always easy, right? We're talking about sin, we're talking about lust, we're talking about temptation, things in our life that most likely it's one of those things that easily gets swept under the rug, or maybe at best it just isn't talked about a whole lot. So let's get right into this today. I pray that you are blessed by this word. But 2 Timothy 2:22 says, "Run from anything that stimulates youthful lusts. Instead, pursue righteous living, faithfulness, love, and peace. Enjoy the companionship of those who call on the Lord with pure hearts." Here's what I love about this passage. It kicks us off with saying what we need to flee from, right? So run from anything that stimulates youthful lusts. Okay, so immediately it gives us a command. Okay, oftentimes the Bible can get a negative rap, talked about in a negative way from others, in the sense that, well, the Bible and Christianity is just about a bunch of rules. And that can sometimes be an excuse that people make that maybe are scared to dive in a little bit deeper, and so they use that excuse to maybe put up a blocker, a wall between them and any potential relationship with God. And I think this passage in and of itself is beautiful, loving proof that it's so much more than just a list of rules. So check out this passage. It starts with this command. So run from anything that stimulates youthful lust. But then it gives you this guidance. It gives you this, but instead, pursue righteous living, okay? Faithfulness, pursue love and peace. And then on top of that, enjoy the companionship of those who call on the Lord with pure hearts. Live in community, experience what community should look like and is all about. I love that. So it's not just a list of rules. It's not just this, don't do this, but do this, right? It says, listen, if you want to enjoy the way that I created you and enjoy the purpose that I created you for, then don't just run from this, but pursue righteousness, pursue love, pursue peace, right? And I think that's a great reminder for us when it comes to sin and temptation in our lives. Oftentimes it's like, I just need to stop that. I need to stop that. But there's a flip side to that always. And the flip side is, well, what if instead of just focusing on the stopping, we focused on the pursuing? What if we focused on the adding? What's something good that needs to be added to my life? And the more that I add this righteous living, the more that I pursue the companionship and this community that God calls us to, the stronger that I'm going to build in my own character, so that the next time that sin or temptation comes, I am prepared and I am ready. I hope you're hearing that word today. Running away from things can make you feel like a coward, but it takes a wise and mature person to recognize that there are things in this world that need to be avoided so your heart can remain pure. Some temptations are easy to walk away from, but others seem so amazing that making a good choice is crazy difficult. Temptation is different for everyone, and it won't let up at any stage in your life. You know, we say that, well, it's going to be better after junior high, or it's going to be better after high school, it's going to be better after college, it's going to be better after, so and so on. This is something that it will always be present, because sin is always present in our world and in our life. And as long as sin is present, temptation will be present in our lives. Knowing when to stand firm and when to run is a crucial part to living a life that is fully devoted to Christ. Put on your running shoes and run from anything that will drag you down. Running from sin is rarely easy, but it's always worth it. It is good for your heart. Your heart needs you to set yourself up to succeed. So sprint when temptation draws near, and your friends need you to do this as well. Do you have a temptation that is difficult for you to resist? If so, are you ready to run? Are you ready to run? That's the question for you today. Are you ready to run? When that temptation comes in your life, have you set that foundation so much so that you're ready to run away from it? Because the second you step toward that temptation, it becomes that much harder. And then that second step toward that temptation becomes even harder. You see how this progresses and progresses, and then it becomes something that's almost insurmountable. My friends, I hope that you are setting up this pattern in your life that is not only resisting the temptations, but it is running and pursuing toward God. So imagine this: when you run from the temptation, you're actually running toward your Heavenly Father. What a beautiful visual for us to see. Talking with God today. Spend some time talking to God about the sin and temptation that is difficult for you to resist. Ask God to give you the strength and wisdom to run from anything that causes you to struggle spiritually. Pray specifically toward that today. Pray that God would help you resist the temptation in your life that you know is your struggle, that you know is the tough one for you. Maybe a little thing, maybe a really big thing. Like, it doesn't matter. Temptation's temptation, and we are called to resist. And a little bit extra today, if you're feeling like doing a little bit more today, going a little further. Even if you're not a runner, lace up your shoes and go out for a jog. Notice how focused you need to be to keep your pace. You have to pay attention to your breathing, your footing, your direction, your distance. Running is difficult, but it's worth it, and also good for your heart. My friends, that is the simple truth today. Hope you are blessed by that, and I hope that you will not only run from, but you will run toward your Heavenly Father. Be blessed today, guys. I love you.